Hey there, and welcome back to Off the Rails, an educational monster train series where we explore content mods for the game. So we're continuing on with the Hellborn Pathogens. One thing that I've really wanted to test now that I've unlocked it is the Exile Champion. There's a lot of different options here. I think I can show this in the logbook actually. I don't have any of the character stuff unlocked. I have not played with them yet. Now, there have been a number of balance patches as well on other paths, so I'm not sure exactly what has changed all the way across the board. I tried to wait the longest that I could on recording this video to get all of the most up-to-date stuff, so that by the time this video went up, I wouldn't have a different balance set for the clan in play than you all have watching the video. I noticed that was true the last couple times. Hart has been making frequent updates that regularly are undoing some of the discussion points that I've had. So I wanted to wait on that. So here we are. I believe this should be the most active one as far as I am aware. The most up-to-date patch came in last night, so I'm glad I waited as long as I did. Anyway, here we are, recording this run. So we're going to be playing the Exile Champion, and I'm going to randomize the other stuff, pretty much. Now, worth noting, the carrier, the original default champion, has Virion, which I think is a pretty disgustingly powerful starting card, right? There's a lot of things about this that I think are simply too strong, or edge into the territory of something that I think is not supposed to exist in the game. It's fun to experiment with, but I think, for instance, a consume starter card that is a spell is simply too powerful. It's basically Shade Splitter on steroids, if you think about it for a little bit, right? So it is what it is. I think a lot of other things around the clan have been nerfed to kind of keep Virion in this state. It seems to be this was a design goal. So it makes interacting with Virion a pretty important part of the clan in the default gameplay, right? You're relying on it for culture and a variety of other things. So a little bit tricky in that respect. It seems to be something that Hart values a lot, is keeping Virion this powerful and then relying on nerfing other things in order to keep them from being able to complement it, right? You're not allowed to have something very strong like swarm tactics in the clan, because if it's too powerful, you're combining that with too powerful of a starter, and you have simply too powerful of a baseline, right? But anyway, it's kind of an interesting dynamic that he's gone for here. We're going to see how Flea plays into this, because in my opinion, just looking at this, Flea looks like a pretty good but weird card. It's a bad ping. It's a good ping in that it immediately kills things that have 5 health, which is really strong when you think about it, right? It's like foregone power in that sense. But foregone power, it's not targeted, right? It's not targeted, and it also kills bosses. So foregone power has its own advantages and disadvantages with the discard and the ember cost. It's a very different card overall. This outright kills 9x2s in the early game, which is pretty ridiculous if you think about it. Just being able to openly kill them, it's actually on average stronger than, Fracture even, which is pretty nuts considering how strong Fracture is. Now, Fracture does kill bosses. The thing about Fracture is that it scales multiplicatively with the number of echoes and the amount of reap stacks you apply. Contagion in general is pretty weak if you're trying to kill big units with it, because it's very difficult to stack 200 Contagion on a unit and actually kill them. Sometimes it matters into Relentless or into your, when enemies walk up to your Pyre room. I've noticed this in a few of my previous videos and circumstances where an enemy will walk up, get hit a few times, but have like 36 contagion and then die before having to hit me again, saving some health to the pyre. It's a bit difficult to do that math on the spot because, well, just the way status effect math works, it's hard to anticipate that, but it is something you need to think about in order to see how much damage you're really at risk for. There's definitely cases with something like Vapor Funnel where you're not going to take that damage because you're not realizing, oh wait, he goes up, takes the daze, and then dies to contagion, right? So something to keep in mind. I do think Contagion's pretty decent. This is a fine card, I think, right? This is going to be fine. The problem is I don't think you're really going to synergize with Contagion based on what I've seen in the clan. Contagion as a mechanic is not something that's very easy to interact with. It's also very bad against the Divinity. So in my opinion, this is basically a ping that falls off a cliff very quickly. Whereas something like Fracture can still be used to kill 25 health backlines in Divinity. What am I going to do? Put like double stack into Flee in order to kill a 12 HP, a 15 HP guy on the Divinity? Absolutely not, right? And there's not like I can pull a plus 10 in this or something, so I don't know. This just seems really strong early and then falls off an absolute cliff pretty quickly. I think it would be fantastic if you don't play with the DLC though, right? This is a ridiculous backline. Absolutely busted if you're just playing in the baseline game, because the highest HP baseline backline is a Purifier at 10 health. So at 10 health, 2 casts of this just kills that, and you kill literally every other backline easily. It's kind of disgusting. Now, I will see what Super Virus actually does to play along with this. If it relies on Contagion on the floor, part of the challenge is going to be, well, I don't really want to play Contagion on the floor. It's a bad ping on floor. So we'll see. Anyway, we'll go ahead and get in on this, playing some new champion. Very excited for that. So as always, do like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. And let's see what we roll into. I'm kind of interested. I've had a lot of recommendations to play this with Shade Splitter. I'm not surprised. Things like Culture obviously synergize with Shade Splitters, but I'm not going to just openly pick it. I want to be able to play a random setup, and so we're going to do that. So let's go. Alright, we ended up with Stygian. Cool. Hope you're all doing well today. I'm doing alright. I've had a kind of weird and busy week of work, but nothing too terrible to report. Otherwise, having a pretty decent one of it. I haven't been sleeping very well, which is a bit unfortunate, but that's all good. I'll overcome that. So, hopefully you're doing a little better, but I guess I wouldn't say I'm doing bad. I'm just, a little below average, but that's the ebb and flow of life, right? So, all good. Anyway, today we are Exile I hate this. Exile Pathogens is what I'm going to call it. And then default Stygian. We're facing Rage Talos, Rage Arcus, Chaste Seraph. We have Booster Shot, Mollusk Mage, and Intro to Biology. Intro to Biology seems fine. Booster Shot is an okay card. Wait a second, does this give health now instead of attack? That's true, it does. You ever notice how much worse this is than something like Steel Enhancer? Yeah, it's kind of weird. Plus 4 health, but you don't get the attack, and it costs 1 Ember instead of 0. The reserve is fine, because it means that if I don't play it, it essentially replaces itself, but it's kind of weird. I don't know, this kind of sucks, right? Think about this compared to Steel Enhancer, think about this compared to Echo Infusion, right? It's just, I feel like this should give like 8 health or 6 health at least. I don't know, 4 is just very little investment. I don't think this is ever worth spending 1 Ember on, but maybe. I mean, maybe you're desperate, right? This is really good with Primordium, I guess, because every stat boost is good with Primordium. Intro to Biology, I think, is a fine card. It's free, draw a unit, reduce its cost by 1. Cool. Yeah, cool. I think this is good. It's like Prism Retrieval, but different, right? It's basically Prism Retrieval, just slightly changed, which is fine. I mean, it's okay. If you want a tutor, then having a tutor is useful, so fair enough. And then Mollusk Mage is also here. Of course he is. Fantastic. We get Mollusk Mage plus a starter that doesn't benefit from it. Cool. Incredible news. Alright, temples today are rings 2, 3, 4, 7, and 8. So a lot of good temples. I'm interested in that. I want to see how temple upgrades interact with a variety of things in this clan, so that's good. We have Hellbent on Magic Side on 8, nothing fancy. Trinket Shop with money and a Horde on 7 is pretty decent. Competes with a Magic Shop. No removals on the floor. It's fine. That means we don't have a Steel Shop on 7. Meanwhile, we do not have a Magic Shop on 6 because another Trinket Shop, good grief, but this one has money in the middle. I don't know if I want this many Trinket Shops, but I guess it's an option. I always actually dislike it when they show you this many. On the one hand, it means you're seeing a lot of trinkets. On the other hand, you have to actually have the money to benefit from them, and that's hard to do. I mean, unfortunately, there is money on these node sides, so it's not that bad, but it's not ideal either. I'd rather sometimes have the flexibility of the magic or the steel shop instead. And especially because the steel shop on 6 doesn't even have the vortex, so it's just got the cave and and there's some more money, so fair. Removal dupe on 5. No steel shop again. Yikes. Double steel's missing. Yeah, fair enough. Competing with a magic shop horde. Stygian banner vortex horde on 4. There's a steel shop there. It's kind of a weird circumstance. We're missing 2 steels, but I think we're also missing 2 magics, if I'm reminding myself correctly, right? No magic here on set 6, and no magic on 4. Now, instead of giving us double both shops, in order to make the number of hell vents at least 3 in the run, we got a hell vent spawn. So we actually have a deficit of steel shops in this run overall, which is kind of interesting to keep in mind. That is bad. So we're going to need to prioritize steel shops, I think, in order to get upgrades on our units. Now, we don't really have Pathogens banners in the easy path. We have Stygian banner on 2, no Pathogens banner. We'll be relying a little bit on unit drafts, I think. But all good. Yeah, not too bad. Now, this is a case... I'm going to look at the champion first so I know what the mechanics are, because I don't even know what's going to synergize with it, potentially. Okay, what do we have? Super Virus, 1 space, permafrost, reserve, give friendly units +2/+2 on the floor where your turn ended. Reserve, gain +2/+2 permanently. Interesting. Okay. Interesting. So, how good is this? Because this means you're not playing your champion until what? Relentless? Which is cool. I mean, you just airdrop him in, but... Huh. I kind of like that. Culture gain shard 1, then gain +1 attack for each shard. Now, this is nuts, right? Because this is... So it's +1 at first, but then think about the second culture. Second culture, you now have shard 2, so you gain +2. So you're getting like +1, +2, +3, +4, +5, +6. Now, how does this scale into higher levels? I think we're going to go with the super virus here. I think you could do some fun stuff with, like, well, of course, they're both super virus. Frozen in ice, and then you have maybe sirens or something is kind of neat, right? You can full-on incant. I don't have any forced discards, which is good, I suppose. We didn't end up on foregone power. So, based on that, you could have a pretty interesting... Yeah, you have a pretty interesting floor with sirens, actually. I'm going to go ahead and actually go Frozen in Ice. I think this seems funner. Or more fun. Whatever. Horde today says Mitotic Division. When you summon your first unit each turn, add a Virion spell with Purge to your hand. I think that's fun. This makes culture pretty good. Yeah, I'll take that. It's basically... This is basically a... It's like carving Karuska, except the Virion is going to cost Ember instead of being a Ember generator. It's kind of... It's a very strong... This is a double culture, but better. Right now, you can see the change. This used to be double culture and rally triggers, but this is just stronger in most cases, as long as you can afford to cast the Virion. So this is maybe an energy suck, but double culture is kind of nuts. If I had seen this first, I might have gone with the culture path, but that's okay. That is okay. I'm still taking this, right? Yeah, I am. Absolutely. Now, I'm really strong into 9x2, so we just aggressively grab stuff, right? Aerosolizer. Now, Mark of an Exile is dead. Volatile Gauge, I don't want to do. Because Mark of an Exile, I mean, I play this guy in Relentless, which I guess is fine, but I guess it's not dead, it's just delayed. Anyway, our Aerosolizer has changed. Let's see what this says. When a unit with contagion dies, it deals damage equal to 1/2 its contagion stacks to the front enemy unit. I could benefit from this, right? Sure. I like that. Let's also just take the triggers, right? It's fine. Mark of Invasion. I'm okay with some damage here. Sure. Now the annoying thing is I'm going to have to remember to end my turn on the right floor. Now how does this work? Apply 6... Does it kill the whole floor? It sure does. That's kind of cool. Now I don't have a unit, so the super virus is doing nothing but benefiting itself right now, which is fine, I suppose. Intro to biology. Okay, now this means, unfortunately, I did not get contagion on this middle floor. I didn't draw into it. So let's go Train Steward. Oh, right, we get the Virions. So, Train Steward. He was free, which is good. I do want to play the other Train Steward. And I think I want to put Mollusk Mage down. Yes. Now, Virion is a pretty good pickup, I think, because it should clear the floor and keep this Train Steward alive. And I can end on this floor. You want to know what really annoys me about this kind of a buff? This completely ruins your combat preview, right? I'm looking at this is all wrong now compared to this. That's a bit of a weird situation to be in, but that's another thing I don't like about the timing of this interaction. Of course, that doesn't do anything here, but that's fine. Yeah. Okay, fair enough. Now I can Frozen Lance here to kill that man. I'm going to flee in the back, I suppose. I think it's right to do it. I'll just, I don't know, push more numbers here, maybe. Kind of weird. Now, I don't have any space to Super Virus here, which is a bit of a bummer. I could just airdrop him in, but he does what? He does a decent amount of damage, actually. Now, I think it's actually stronger to leave him on this floor and just go with, like, what? Flee, 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 and then... It's good because it puts Mollusk Mage over 13, which is a whole extra turn here. So, let's Frozen Lance, flee, and then if I booster shot up to 20 here, we get this kill. Yeah, okay. And of course, combat preview is obviously wrong because super virus, so fair. Interesting. All right. Apply, I really, apply replicate to a friendly unit. It gives them endless. I mean, I see what they're going for here, right? Okay, play your super virus, and then you get the life elixir on him, and then he comes back, and you can elevator him, and I'm just, I get this, but this is a whole bunch of card draw and work, and then I'm not getting my reserve ability, which are the important parts of this. I don't know. Hurried exit. This is, I'm looking at this and I'm thinking about it. At 2 Ember, I'm much less likely to snap click this, which I suppose is the intention. At 1 Ember, I'm basically always clicking this card. So there's that. But I don't know if I want to invest. It's good, right? Maybe I just take the ping. Did they buff bacterial growth to only 1 Ember? I seem to remember this being so much more expensive before. I'm happy to have it now. It's just a fine ping. Sure, I'll take that. That's okay. Offering token. I think that's the play. We have to very clearly dodge random discards, or else Super Virus implodes and fails. So, Preserve is not adding much. Let's take the offering token, sure. Now I am looking for... Yeah, Stygian units are fine. Sure, we'll take a unit. I need something I can see on turn 1. Multi-strike is good. Give me a Siren or something. Cold Kalia, I mean, alright. Super Virus interacts with it, sure. We'll take that, and I'm going to toss the multi-strike at it. Fine. That's good. Now, I don't get another Steel Shop. Is this good enough? A Battlestone? It's not terrible. 25 health. We do need some defense here. Suppose that's okay. I can't really afford to re-roll. As far as this temple spell chain, none of these want spell chain. Intrinsic. Intro to biology on intrinsic is interesting, right? It's interesting because it means I could double draw here or hit 2 units. In the late game, potentially this is a siren on top of whatever. So now we're apparently using Cold Kalia. I kind of wanted to see a normal siren, would have been fantastic, but this is okay. It at least interacts positively with Super Virus in a meaningful way. I think intrinsic on the intro to biology is correct. Kind of interestingly enough. Let's move on. I'm not... Battlestone? I have to go to this other steel shop? What could this be instead? Is quick better? 15 health? If I stay low on shards, that's doable. This does necessitate I have some solution, a Divinity sweep, but I guess my Super Virus does help a little bit. I can see this line kind of playing together. It's going to also depend a lot. I'm skipping the Battlestone, by the way. I want to leave that slot open for like quick or something. But I can take this aggressive aim freely. But it's important to keep in mind it depends a lot on what the Frozen and Ice Path's ultimate buffs end up being. If this is like 2, 4, 6, I'm very low. I'm not excited. But if this is maybe 2, 5, 10, we're cooking, right? So, things to keep in mind. Now, alright, so we then have our super floor we're kind of putting together. Cold Kalia can go in the back. I'm going to play the Virion on this floor just to face tank. I'm going to work on Flea downstairs. We end our turn up top. Fine. Cool. I play the other Mollusk Mage, and we should be chilling. I then do get another Virion on this floor. I want to basically just stack the floor so Super Virus makes it busted, right? It's not too complex. Flea on middle is fantastic. I will take the permanent damage gain upstairs. I think that's reasonable. Let's just reserve that real quick. We get stat buffs. We do manage to kill it, even though the combat preview said we didn't. So that's fun. Draw a card. It is living, by the way. This unit is living. So let's go ahead and give health to Cold Kalia. This will matter. And then we can finish this floor. He's living because, remember, combat preview is going to be wrong this whole combat. So that is unfortunately just the way of it. End your turn up here. Is this actually adding enough damage to win in any capacity? Kind of a weird circumstance, but I think this gets through it thanks to the buff. Does it win? Yeah, okay. It does barely pull it off. The math is just going to be impossible for me to understand. Deal 2 damage and apply Contagion 6 to an enemy unit. I mean, this is basically my starter, except it does 2 damage as well, which is not important, I think. I don't need to kill units on my floor, so Feverish Response is not necessary. I think I skip here, it's fine. Flash Freeze is good. We're going to click this card. Yes, I want another ping that is a little more free to use. And we get a unit. Nameless Siren is tempting. Culture. Antigen Mimic. Restore 5 health to all friendly units and apply Regen 1. This is a good card if we can actually generate the culture triggers, but I don't know how we do that. Without Virion or some other tool, we're not spawning units, right? How do I even pull this off? They nerfed Viro Demonologist. Look at that, 4-3. He used to be 5-5. I mean, admittedly, I think the previous numbers were maybe a little high, but this unit suffers a little bit. Is he still... Oh, wow. Yeah, his infusion is terrible. So, +2. Yeah, you don't spawn enough units to justify a +2. Good grief. Okay, so how can I... What is the right play? Is the big question. Culture is risky. Nameless Siren's probably better. We're going to be incanting. The downside, of course, is how in the universe am I keeping my Cold Kalia among the living. But maybe that's another question for us to solve elsewhere. Interesting. Antigen Mimic. Is this ever it? Restore 5 health to all friendly units. Again, though, culture is just way too difficult for us right now. Leaning into it is a mistake. Let's take the Siren. Yeah, it's a decent infusion. We'll grab it. Magic Shop. What's the dupe if I go left? You could make a second Cold Kalia, but I think it's too early for this, in my opinion. So I'm really banking on this Frozen and Ice giving good stats, right? Because if it doesn't give a good number, if this is 2, 3, 4, we're straight up losing. Wait a second, is this permanent? Holy crap, I didn't realize it gave permanent stats. Okay, that completely changes my view on this path. I should have read the card. Okay, cool. I thought I had. Let's go to the right. Magic Shop seems decent. I don't have a Hellvent right now. Okay, so this is actually pretty strong. This is cooking pretty well, I think. Now, unfortunately, I do think we're going to basically never play it. So maybe in the Divinity it will matter, but holdover, huh? I do not think I have a good holdover target right now. Bummer. Let's look at the Pathogens banner. What is this? These are both new units to me. Oh, hold up. Simplex Virus Diabolicus. Resolve. Summon one recombinant virus. I mean, this is bad Morsel Maker, but it is actually hilarious. This is bad Morsel Maker, but it does trigger culture. So culture gain shard 1, action gains spikes 1 per shard. What is this exponential scaling is ridiculous, right? If you have a good culture line, you can just completely blast it. Now, I do think I want the Simplex Virus because of the Mitotic Division synergy here. That's kind of cool. Man, I wish I had taken the stupid... Alright. If I had known this unit existed, I think I would have leaned to maybe guessed more about it. This is pretty good in clan. We'll take this. Okay. Interesting. Now, I don't think that changes my infusion, but maybe I wait? Look for a culture guy again? Maybe I do wait, actually. That's kind of weird. Let's go ahead and look at the caves first, because I don't think there's anything I want to X5, even with upgrades, right? Oh my goodness, what in the world do I spell chain, if anything? Nothing here looks great. Now, you could, like, spell chain Intro to Biology. The interesting thing about this is for 1 Ember, I basically play a bunch of banner units. The cool thing about it is you can assemble your floor pretty fast, right? That is very true. You could assemble the squad on turn 1 and then start super virusing it. Yeah, actually, I'll do that. Now we go in here. I'm not going to X5 it, but, you know, minor refraction. Suddenly this changes a lot here because I could jam a whole bunch of stuff on the floor. Yeah, I mean, Tiny Stone is really strong here. We're going to take this. Even though I didn't get the upgrade. Too bad I didn't take the Battle Stone. Good grief. But that's really powerful. It's really good to be able to do that. So I would really like to be able to get a culture on this floor, right? Instead of the Siren infusion. So, man, it's really crazy. Simplex Virus is just such a bad Morsel Maker. It's crazy. Morsel Maker, 1 space. Okay, 2 Ember, you're right. But it summons 2 units, and those units actually do something meaningful. The recombinant virus, the contagion, is not that impactful. It's just that in clan, you need something that generates cultures. This is a very weird unit in that sense. I think, personally... Man, I don't like how bad this unit is compared to Morsel Maker, and yet this clan needs something like this. Huh, weird. I'll have to see how it is in play. I'm gonna put a -1 into Flash Freeze, a spell I actually want to always play. And then I'll toss a 20 Consume at Frozen Lance. I just do not have a holdover trigger here that I actually want. So we're going to chill. And that'll be that, I think. I could Tendon Piercing Bacterial Growth, and this becomes pretty decent pretty quickly. Yeah, you know what? That's probably worth it. Fine. Cool. Alright, we'll go fight Talos here. We can probably beat this, I think. Mathematically, maybe? It's very difficult to anticipate, but... Now, here I can just go Intro to Biology, Intro to Biology. These become free. We sacrifice one of these, and then we Cold Kalia Mollusk Mage here. We let this guy pass away. I'm going to go ahead and Virion downstairs. I think it... Right, back unit now. 4 doesn't kill him. Got it. Then we end our turn up top, which is some stats. Fine. Now he should... Mid-floor should clear out, I think. Yes. Okay, great. I am going to play Simplex Virus upstairs because it's a super cool tank. And I would like to Virion... Doesn't do anything bottom floor. So I guess we'll Virion upstairs. I'm going to Flash Freeze. Gosh, I do need to kill this Forged Disciple. I'm going to put this into the boss, though. End our turn up top. Okay. Really not much to add here. I guess I could leave in... I should definitely hit this guy on middle. What am I doing here, though? Like, what is the play, right? We just sit on this, I suppose? There's really not much reason to do anything else. It's weird. I don't know. Strange one. A lot of damage coming in, but that's okay. I think... Let's see. 12... 35. I mean, I think we're actually doing a good amount of heavy lifting here, right? And then I can Virion, which spawns another Virion, and then I Super Virus stack here. Cool. The whole floor clears out. It seems okay. This is a weird run, right? It's just a strange one, I think. I do think Flee on middle floor is necessary. We need to clear that out. And then Super Virus chills. Now, do we actually clear the guy in the back? No. I have no idea, because it's strange and difficult to decide, but fine. I get a double Virion. Cool. I actually do think it's really strong to have double Virion here, so we will chill and then just stat floor up a bunch. We have tons of face tanks here, which is cool. I'm going to pop this bottom guy, actually, with Bacterial Growth. Fan of that. And then what? None of this matters too terribly much. We just stat up here and end it. I guess I could have... Right, I had an option there. This win's just based on raw stats. There's simply so much here. I'm not even playing Super Virus, which is just silly. It does get through it, though, right? There's simply a lot of stats on the floor, so it's pretty decent. Yeah, sure. Why not? Why not? What do these things do? Damage to the... Okay, Ancient Synergy, fine. This actually should be pretty strong, thanks to Mitotic Division giving extra spells to the unit. So my deck actually ends up being stronger for Ancient Synergy than before. Restore a friendly unit to full health, remove all debuffs. It's a good card. This is the first time I'm seeing the spike. Give a friendly unit +3 attack and heart and health, and an additional +1 and +1 for each friendly unit spawned during this battle. That should make this pretty decent, right? This seems like a pretty good card. I think we grab the spike. Sure. We end up with Siren of the Sea. I do get a culture guy here, though, right? Look at this. Culture apply regen 2 to all friendly units. I mean, this is potentially... This is ridiculous now. Yeah, we take that. Okay. So I think we have a plan. It's going to be... Now, what is... Simplex virus. Okay, simplex virus gives me the most important part as an infusion. So we put that into something. Cold Kalia? We need to keep it on the floor. I think I'm putting that on an antigen mimic, which is just a better unit overall. Now, interestingly, I actually think the infusion on antigen might be stronger because regen 2 is powerful. Now, restoring health is okay, but yeah, I'm not really sure how we're going to approach that quite yet, but I'm leaning towards drawing cards because the truth is there's a lot of stuff I'm just not wanting to play in this deck right now. So let's take card draw for now. Steel Shop, suddenly less useful. I wouldn't say no to some plus 25s. I don't need a Stygian banner. I do need temples. And I do want to remove Train Steward so that I'm actually drawing the correct units quickly. So I would take plus 25s though, right? Yeah. Okay, so here's the plan. We go left, take some health. I'm going to look for some plus 25s. Ah, man, missing that multi-strike number 2, but that's okay. I don't want recombinant virus, simplex virus rather, because he's too big. He's too big. I want the mimic. I think we'll be able to culture trigger enough to get the regen to stack to a meaningful point, so I'll put a plus 25 on this guy. There's no reason to I guess there's no reason not to multi-strike on him, right? He does benefit. Before I do this, let's see how good Frozen and Ice is. Okay, so it's probably going to be 2, 4, 6, yeah? What is Hemorrhagic? This is the one I had seen before. Okay, so +4/+4 is what it's coming down to. So that we're still taking it. It's still correct. That does make the multi-strike pretty decent. Might as well, I don't have to re-roll. So we'll do this. Now, I need to clear units out. We got to do an infusion here. -2, huh? It's an option. Another 10 in piercing. I don't think I need this. I'm going to go ahead and simplex virus into antigen mimic here. Who's getting the dupe on this floor? It's definitely Cold Kalia. I think it's Siren into Cold Kalia. Yeah, so we'll get the simplex virus into antigen mimic here. And I think I'm going to purchase a removal on a Train Steward. And I think our priority is going to be this removal dupe, right? Perhaps I should have done the name. I needed something more defensive, and I needed to get that 3-spacer off. I was thinking that this, like, maybe I should have put the Siren in first so I had the removal dupe lined up, but I think we'll just go to the magic shop and be okay with it. 75. We're not strong enough to get through this, right? I don't know. This is just, what, +6 and +6? It's not actually that worthwhile of a -2. Let's chill at 75 shards and move on. I'm a little bit concerned, but Heaven's Seal. Don't click that. We're not that strong. This is easy to overestimate. Alright. First order of business. Intro to biology. Please hit my Cold Kalia. Ah, bummer. Okay, so antigen mimic is going to chill here, I think. We're going to double play Train Steward's mid-floor. I'm going to go ahead and Virion bottom floor because it should clear this out. And then I chill and leave this up top. I could have bacterial growth something there, but that's okay. Alright, we get Cold Kalia, which is the important one. I'm going to go ahead and flee. Flee downstairs is a bit of a bummer, because it doesn't actually kill this guy. It will eventually kill them, but, you know, not ideal. Okay, now top floor actually shockingly holds together decently well here, which is strange, but I think we just load up the flea here. and we get the stats, and this works out okay. Then he dies to Contagion. Honestly, not that bad of a turn, if I'm being honest with you. Let's go ahead and get a Mollusk Mage in. It heals. We'll play the Virion for heal plus regen. We'll Flash Freeze downstairs because I do want to kill this clipped guy. Click Virion here because of the culture triggers. And this should be okay. As long as we can keep culture triggering, we're doing alright. It's a pretty weak spike, but I guess I'll take it, right? Yeah, it's fine. Then we end this here. Sure. Now I could actually play the super virus downstairs and do some heavy lifting here. Yeah, right? Yeah, absolutely. I think it's good. And then we'll go ahead and do... I don't want Virion killing the guy in back is the thing. So let's play this Siren and then blast a bit. Upstairs, I'm going to play the Virion and we kind of chill here. Sure. Do we win? Yes. Really strange, but yes. Okay. It seems strong enough. The regen is doing okay. I could maybe do better. Take 22 altogether. I've seen worse. Rampant Infection. Deal 2 damage to enemy units for each friendly unit spawned this battle. This can be very large. Dazed... Whoa! Dazed 1 and Contagion 6 to enemy units. This is good. Yeah, let's click that. I like that card. I don't need any of this stuff. Crystalline Seed's actually pretty okay. We'll grab that. I don't mind that card. Alright, cool. Removal dupe. What is thy dupe if I were to dupe anything here? I don't know, but I need the removals. So I think we go to the right. I don't think the magic shop is that impactful. Horde. What is Ice Core? Gain +1 shard each time it is applied to a friendly unit. I mean, just get that with Soul Guard is probably... I mean, this with the other path... Good grief, this is so disgustingly powerful if I could have had the other path of Super Virus. That's crazy. Mark of a Champion is a pretty decent payout. Guy goes up to 90-something damage. Tethys' Scales is probably not worth it here. I mean, it's got to be Mark of a Champion, I guess. I will play the unit eventually. He's gotten strong enough. We're going to cut out 2 Train Stewards because I would like to draw some actually good units here. The dupe is what? You could just intro to biology, draw no cards on turn 2, but play everything on turn 1. It's an interesting idea, I suppose. I don't necessarily just hate making another Cold Kalia here and not getting shards for it. Yeah, sure. Actually pretty decent. It's fine. Remember, because most of the scaling is coming from something else, I could take this armor. Armor does not frighten me as much as some of the other options here do. Okay, so first, Cold Kalia 1. Nameless Siren drops in. I would like to intro to biology. My goal here is to hit one of my other dudes. Okay, I didn't hit the good guy. So we play a bunch of this stuff middle. We buff top floor here. Alright, well at least we do get the Simplex buddy here, which is cool. I would like to flee on middle floor for money. It's pretty good. Yes. This does have a baseline, which is kind of interesting, right? It's kind of curious. That's okay. He's going to spawn stuff. Now, unfortunately, I did give him a bunch of rage. Bummer. Let's go ahead and ping out this guy in back. It's definitely accurate and good to do that. I guess I could daze this, but that's not helping, in my opinion. Now, how... I need space. I mean, I guess actually when I get the Siren Infusion, this is going to be better. So maybe I just kind of chill here a little bit. We almost kill him. It's a bit of a bummer, but it's fine. Now, I'm okay with this, though, because I can do things like Crystalline Seeds middle, and then we Virion, and then we Virion again. And I'm getting a lot of regen here. I guess I can just click Flee on this one. I don't see a reason to do anything fancier. And then we get some stat buffs, which does mean we do a lot more damage. He's going to hit us twice. Yeah. We're definitely just leaking damage, which is a bit of a bummer, but it's fine, right? It could be a lot worse. I wonder how I feel about this. What if I Frozen Lance and then really do anything here? Mathematically, I think this... He dies in one? Yeah, it's weird. It's so weird, but it's also decent. Math. I wonder if I should have not played the Nameless Siren. Huh. Tried to get the other Cold Kalia in there. Problem is, Antigen Mimic, order of draw is a relevant point. Now, I could buy a bunch of turns downstairs by playing the Super Virus, but I think I want to avoid taking more damage, so let's just work on upstairs for the moment. Yeah. I mean, we got that kill. We get the kill anyway thanks to other things and how this works, but that's okay. Now, this Spike is honestly pretty weak, if I'm being real with you. The health is nice. Gets me up to, what, like 60 here-ish? Kind of. This kind of sucks when I'm thinking about it. Like, this numbers are, like, all that work. I have a guy that Resolve creates units. This kind of is unfortunately bad. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So he's going to spawn the last unit here that matters. So I think what we just do is we just bait turns here, right? And then we go Virion, Virion, and it binds 3 turns. And then I'm going to just burn the Hyperclastic Spike. The only value this Spike has, in my opinion, is playing at 0 cost because of the baseline stats, which is really bizarre and, in my opinion, wrong. Like, this is not how I should be interacting with this Spike, personally. But, alright, fine. Now, we should win this combat, right? Yeah, we get through this. I had little fear. Cool. I still don't play Super Virus, and that's okay. It'll get chewed through. We're definitely leaking on waves, so I need to be stronger on waves. Yeah, apply Replicate to a friendly unit, then destroy it and draw a card. Now this doesn't actually do anything on the virus because, or on the recombinant virus because they're cardless, so it just kills a thing. Interesting. This is basically, I mean, this is pretty strong, right? Kind of curious card. I mean, I don't really need to destroy my stuff. I guess if it doesn't get destroyed, it doesn't respawn. So there's that. But we are just face tanking, so it's not that bad. It's not terrible. Sure, I'll click it. Sure. Deep Offering. It's maybe decent. I'm thinking I'm going to have to take space, though, right? Maybe. Simplex Buddy, and then triple Cold Kalias is the play. I'm going to skip this. I guess Guardian Stone's not a bad survivability take, but I definitely need the... I have the recombinant spawning guy, so I definitely go that way as far as infusions go. Let's go to the right and look at trinkets. And also Vortex out a Train Steward. And I believe the correct answer is a Mollusk Mage here. Goodbye, my friend. Trinket Shop says Lightstone Casing, Boon of the Blacksmith, Rationing Scales. We'll skip these. Worn Grindstone, Forgotten Name, Faulty Loader. None of this is what I want. So I think we cut the Mollusk Mage here, and we come pretty close to parity. And then we chill on this. I'm not going to take the money because I'm scared. And I'm going to the Magic Shop next, not the Trinket Shop. Okay. Okay, yeah, I'm pretty scared. I don't actually think we're that powerful right now. And we're leaking a lot of health in pretty much every combat, which is bad news. Now, we're going to play the Cold Kalia. I'm going to intro to biology here, because I think I can hit, yeah, other Cold Kalia. Good. And then we get our other lad, which is really what we want. This is the floor we want. Nameless Siren is not important. Ugh. I tell you what the unfortunate thing is, that I think we drop the Siren here. We shoot the Siren, funny enough, just so I don't get a -1 on that, and then we Crystalline Seeds into making Virion cost 2. That should clear Big Scary Man. It sure does. Alright, good. Let's go ahead. Now, I don't benefit from the incants right now, unfortunately. Now, I could... Oh, it has to be an enemy unit. I was going to say I could flee my own unit, and that would be kind of cool, but I don't think... That doesn't actually work. Alright, we just kind of generate stats and then chill, I think. Yeah, I think this is accurate. Create unit. Create unit. Unit gets shot. Cool. Put a flea downstairs. Seems good. End your turn upstairs. Yeah, the goal here is to just generate a lot of value with Super Virus. Cool. Honestly, there's very little reason to click cards other than to play fleas on lower floors. And I guess I will draw past stuff. I guess I can actually kill a unit here, which is kind of fun. Sure. Cool. That seems neat. Flea does nothing unless there's an enemy that can actually die, so I think we kind of just hang out. I'll play the Nausea at least. Hooray, I did something. Then end your turn up top. Yeah, sure. Seems okay. Fine. Great news. Now this is unfortunately the in-camp floor, but that's okay. Right? No big deal here. I do think I want to play the Virion just to get it out of here, so we'll do that. Play him twice. Cool. I'll flee downstairs, I guess, and then we end turn up top. A lot of reserve triggers, but fun. I wonder if this is actually fast enough to win in any context. I don't really think it is, but it's okay. Let's blast our front dude. Again, Spike is not very strong here. I'm going to play the expensive Virion, and then play another... Oh, it's maxed out. Never mind. Let's hit that Frozen Lance then, I suppose. Does this actually kill this man? Yeah, it does. It just, the combat preview is woefully off right now. Got it. Let's draw past stuff. I don't really know what to expect here, so math is difficult. It does kill him. Man, the math is so wrong on combat preview. It's actually crazy. It's so difficult to predict what this should do. Spike is not terrible. Let's go ahead and play, what, Virion somewhere? I think I actually just hit this Spike and then let it sit. It's so crazy how combat preview is just so woefully wrong here. I'll play... I mean, I can't fit anything on this floor, so I'll play Virion bottom and then another Virion for fun. And then we end our turn up top. I guess I could actually just play the Super Virus here for a casual, what, like 400 and something damage? It's probably worth it, right? It's actually like 1,000 damage because of the Mark of a Champion here. And then there's no reason to do anything else, I suppose. I could always bacterial growth my own unit, which is kind of an interesting truth. Interesting. One dies, one spawns. I think it's actually okay. We'll just kind of sit on this, right? I think. Sure. Yeah, seems okay. Top floor clears out. We spawn a guy. Bottom guy is just kind of cruising. He does a ton of damage. And then here it's just as simple as click nothing, I suppose. I guess I'll click flee because you might as well. But you quickly see... I mean, he's actually got a decent amount of contagion, but doesn't really matter that much. I think he actually died to it. Did he die to it, or was that an attack? It's hard to see. Alright, let's find out. Multi-strand DNA, apply replicate, melee weakness 4, and multi-strike. No. This is basically... I think I've mentioned this before. This is like almost 100% One Horn's Tome from the Unofficial Balance Patch. It just says replicate. And I do not... Replicate is not that valuable, in my opinion. But what does this do? Spawn a copy of a random unit from your deck on the back of this room. Any attack or heart buffs applied to the copied unit will apply to the original card until it is played? What? Any attack or health buffs applied to the copied unit. So you play that, any buffs there. This might be just really good because this can spawn an extra Cold Kalia on the floor. I think we click that for sure, and we just try our best. Now, our plan here is to infuse Nameless Siren, and then we dupe the thing for the third time. So I think we need space here. Yes. 6 space, 3 small people, and then 1 main person. 2 plus 3. I think this is accurate. And I mean, that way, the reason I'm doing that is because this guy, I could get him on turn 1 and not have my all my units out. So I have to account for the possible +1 space from Simplex Virus, right? Okay, do your infusion first. This is important. Nameless Siren, I've held on to you for long enough. Okay, now I have a reason to incant. Fantastic. Let's go see the cave, see if I get an overstack here. I do not. Now, Heaven's Gold should be pretty good here, right? Things are leaking early in the combat. Yeah, I want that Heaven's Gold. I'm not spending everything, so this is going to be a lot of value. It's a bummer that it's +6/+6. You know, it's actually okay because of the permanent buff to itself. But when you think about this, this is much better used as a floor-wide stat buff, right? Now, I do have a culture trigger, but it's not like I'm going to play... Ooh, what is this? Apply Contagion 4 per shard to enemy units. So this might be the only way that Contagion actually plays as a mainline strategy because of the exponential scaling. Or it's not exponential, it's like quadratic. I think I've been corrected on this a million times. But, alright, Super Virus 4, or Frozen in Ice 3, let's do it. I'm very excited about that. Spell Chain. I'll tell you what, Spell Chain on the Hyperelastic Spike is really good, if only because it plays at 0 cost much better than it plays at X cost, which is... This spike needs to be fixed. It should not be better at 0 cost than at X. Right? I'm literally incentivized to spend all my Ember and then play this. I mean, it's obviously better to play it with, but I'd rather spend my Ember on other stuff. I am doing this Spell Chain, though. 10 in piercing. No. We chill. Okay. Magic Shop says double stack. Dazed 2 is pretty okay, right? It's pretty good, if I'm being honest with you. I'm going to click that. Alright, -1s. Experimental cloning device is such a weird card, but I do want it to be more playable. One in bacterial growth. We're doing 31s here, which is very strong. I mean, at this point, I don't need this to do any more. I can just kill units with it, so I think we give it the -1. +10, no thank you. I'll re-roll here. 20 consume into a frozen lance is worth it. Remove consume. I mean, remove consume hyperlastic spike. This is actually just a this is ridiculous. It's so good at 0 cost. Yeah, absolutely. That's nuts, actually. Let me move on. That card is actually crazy powerful like this. Winged Horde with spikes, and I have... Oh, I have Flee, so this should actually be mostly free. Yeah, okay, fine. As long as I remember to actually play the card, right? So just drop this here and it starts going crazy. Now, I am going to Cold Kalia 1. Intro to Biology, and we should get our whole card line out. Yes. Cool. You know, you could actually play Super Virus on this floor and fit him in. But I'm going to take that permanent scaling here, and that's pretty decent. Now I need to draw cards here. Reminder that drawing cards is relevant. Let's go ahead and Crystalline Seeds middle. And pop one of these things. And then I suppose I should pop or work on the other. Yeah. We have so many tanks here that I'm not too concerned, right? Flash Freeze here is valuable. I do want to play the Virion. It's good. Double Virions are strong here. And then I can pop one of you. We should clear this because I'm going to end my turn here. Let's pop one of the guys on middle. It's good. And then we end our turn here. Right? They should have enough damage to clear that floor out. They do. Yep. Great. I don't know how most of this will work, but let's hit that cloning device. What? Wait, what? Spawn a copy of a random unit from your deck to the back of this room. I had space. It just didn't work. Cool. Okay, fantastic news. I don't know what else to add besides, I guess that sucks. Alright, fair enough. Now we just drop big hyperlastic spike here. And this card is nuts, and we chill. Now, do we kill this front guy? I'm not actually sure. Come close to it. Guy gets one hit through. That card just did not do anything, and I don't know how I was supposed to feel about that. Which is weird and true and strange. Anyway, this hyperlastic spike is pretty disgusting here. Look at this, I'm just getting +12/+12s for free. Good. Great, in fact. Big fan. Alright, we'll draw a card, see what we roll into here. I do think the Daze is probably correct on the next floor, actually. Yeah, because it kills a whole bunch of dudes. Then we end our turn up here. They are going to attack, and it kind of sucks, but it's not too bad. And we'll get a bunch of healing here, so I'm not pressed about it, right? I can pop one, but I can play Virion, which then spawns another Virion, and this is acceptable. And I can actually shoot one of the Virions and chill. And then draw, and we're okay. We flee downstairs, and it just kills a bunch of dudes, and that's great. And upstairs, we just chill. Cool. Great. Is it better? I mean, the super virus basically 1v1s this dude, right? That's actually true. I may as well just permanently scale him. We're winning this floor anyway. This hyperelastic spike is silly. So, cool. I'll just chill. Fine. Great. Blast a guy. Cool. Which lets me spawn another guy, which is cool. Which lets me kill a guy, which lets me spawn another guy, which is cool. And then we chill, right? Yeah, we have 152 by 2 in the back. We're doing pretty alright. I think we've got it. Now, this is going to be tougher on the Divinity, I think, but we should win anyway. Now that, I gotta be real, the card that just straight up didn't work is a bummer. I don't know what this did not do anything, so that's unfortunate, right? Terribly tragic. Reserve, apply damage shield 1 to a random friendly unit on the floor where your turn ended. It's pretty good, honestly. Resolve, apply armored 5 to the front friendly unit. Upgrade this reserve effect and trigger purge. What? Trigger purge. So, why? What is this triggering purge on? Purge is triggered normally. Purge, first of all, purge is not a trigger. So, oh wait, what? Oh, it purges itself. What? Upgrade this reserve effect and trigger. This card needs a text pass because I have no idea what this is supposed to do. Upgrade this reserve effect. How? How does this get upgraded? And trigger purge. So, is this sounds like this is trying to be what? I'm going to click this just because I have no idea. It sounds like a card I want to leave in my hand, and that's fine, I suppose. Frenzied Swarm is terrible. I do not want to ever discard my Super Virus. We chill. Alright. Okay. I wish to go to the dupe. Yes, we shall go to the dupe. Okay. Grab money. Divine Temple, what do you got? -2? I mean, this is just nausea here, for sure. This card is now sick. Contagions, right. The card is ridiculous, though. Will 20 consume another Frozen Lance? It's definitely correct. The -1 here. I honestly don't know what to make of Evolving Resistance, so I'm going to upgrade it because I'm interested. That's truly as simple as it is. Experimental cloning device does not work. Don't click that. We're done with it. Permafrost. Now this is funny because it has a fun reserve effect, so sure. Okay, fine. We found the permafrost on this thing. Fun. Fantastic. I know I put a -1 into a card, but I guess I wasn't guaranteed. I wasn't thinking that I was going to get that permafrost, so I was like, I don't actually know. Maybe this, it seems to have an added card. I'm thinking it might be kind of like Blazing Bolts and the text is just completely botched. So my thought was that maybe I wanted to upgrade it so that the final form was really good. But, because you can see this upgraded card is, what, Rage 3 to friendly units? That's pretty decent with Nameless Siren, so I was thinking I'd cast it. But with Permafrost, maybe I can go crazy with this reserve effect. I don't know. We'll see. Anyway, the dupe here, as much as I think I would like it to be a Siren, I actually think it's just straight up this nausea. This card is fantastic. Now that I have a -2 in it, this is just great. Yeah. Cool. Cool, cool, cool. Good stuff. This all makes a ton of sense. Icicle Fracture, I can apply Frozen to a random card. Permafrost, what, like a booster shot or something? It's kind of interesting. I think I kind of want to buy removals, but we'll see what this shop has, because there's stuff that they could show me that would be fantastic. They didn't show it to me. I was thinking like Founding Seal would be kind of great here, but I think removing Frozen Lances is probably the strongest thing I could do in this run. Draw into the better cards. Yes. Right, I mean, this is basically draw into my nauseas and my spike. That is very silly. Intrinsic. Tell you what, I was thinking about intrinsic. Like, I wish I could intrinsic this cloning device in a meaningful way, but I just don't think I can. I think we chill here and we hope for the best, right? Put a -1 in something, and I guess that will be fine. I'm going to trust experimental cloning device to work this time. We're going to trust. I don't know what it's supposed to do, but fine. We're going to chill. 50 attack power is okay. 155 shards. It's alright. I can't spend any more, but I wanted to power up because I was scared. We'll go fight Chased. I think this is acceptable. This is a weird run, but it's kind of working. Right? Kind of? Yeah. Okay, now, first order of business is play the Nameless Siren, then we incant on this floor, right? Do that thing. You play Simplex Dude first, then we drop Old Kalia. Now I should be able to cloning device. It doesn't do anything. Alright, never mind. Bummer. Okay. It's just kind of a shame, I suppose, but sure. I want this thing to kill my virus, so I think I am going to just Frozen Lance middle floor and then end turn here. It's a real bummer that this card just does not work. I was thinking it might have been grabbing a recombinant virus, but that's why I was like, oh, if I play it first, you know? But unfortunate. Let's draw some stuff. I mean, you see kind of what I'm going for here. Just hit that nausea, and this is basically over, right? Hit that nausea on mid-floor. I mean, I actually think I should Virion instead, because remember, this thing is going to... They ascend and then get the days cut by Chased, so... Now we hit him with that nausea. Fantastic. And we are strong, right? We're very powerful. This spike is doing heavy lifting. And now we get to see what the heck this permafrost card does. What? Oh, it uses Hyperlastic Spike's art. I was very confused. Purge Permafrost. Oh, wow, it's applying... I have no idea how this is behaving. So, that's exciting. Cool. I don't know what to expect. Do I have to... What? I'm not actually sure. Okay, nausea, I'm a little bit concerned about this floor not taking enough damage here. I think dazing it might be critically important, but I do kind of like my units passing away. I think I'm just going to hit this nausea here, and then I'm going to flee on the floor, and then I think we kind of just chill. What is that at now? I'm gonna be real. I think I'm flooding my deck with garbage, and I don't know how it should behave. I thought it would trigger the purge and actually purge itself, but it does not appear to be doing that. Evolving Resistance has transforming art. This is probably bad, it seems. Probably. Okay, let's work on this middle floor guy. I'm not actually sure how some of this is going to work, but that's okay. We're doing our best. Can't spawn another unit. What is happening? Let's play Flee, I suppose. So I can play this to purge it, huh? Unfortunately, I do want a lot of units to die. We're not gonna, I mean... I play it to purge it. Yes. Okay, I am not certain. We take a hit here. We're definitely leaking, unfortunately. Okay, I have no Ember, but that's fine, I suppose. We'll just play the Hyperelastic Spike and hang out. And... wait, what? Now it's applying... wait a second. To the front unit? It didn't apply that to every unit, right? Oh, it is to the front-friendly unit? What is happening here? Honestly, unclear. Let's go ahead and stack days. Okay, this is actually not the card, right? Draw first. This is quickly getting out of hand, I think. This is quickly becoming unknowable. The spike is pretty good, at least. What is happening? Okay. This is gonna do some stuff. It sure did some stuff. Yeah, okay. Now, it's supposed to actually trigger upgrade this card and trigger purge. I don't know how this is intended to behave. I think I'm flooding my deck with trash and I have no control over it, is kind of what's happening here. So... it's strange, but here we are. I've done some nonsense to this run, and I don't know what to tell you. This card is... I've clicked it, and I think it's ruined my run, and we might just lose because of that, but we did at least beat Chased, so, you know, I could think of worse finales here. We're at Divinity. I don't know how, but sure. Now, fortunately, Divinity is pretty wide. We did miss the Divinity shard, so I was kind of hoping for 100 armor here, but it's fine. Good grief. Okay, so I need to draw units first. Priorities. Alright. We go and play Simplex Buddy first. Then we go Cold Kalias because we get the regens from it. I need to play the Nausea here. I think it's important. We buff our floor. Tell you what, this is not behaving the way I wanted it to, but it will have to do. We're going to at least pop a thing. Good grief. I am not certain. So if I play the Purge copies that give Rage 3, I think this is actually a really good incant here. Curious. Sure, right? Sure. We've added a bunch of trash to our deck that I don't really have control over. I pretty much have to play these cards, I think. They're good from adding rage to the floor, which I appreciate. I can add armor to the floor. Let's play the Virion here instead. Good grief. I mean, we at least clear this thing out, but dang, alright. Okay, now I need to play some stuff. What is this? Lifesteal 1 to the friendly unit? Is this the final version? I don't know. Unclear. If I flee in the back, it actually does kill something, so that's kind of neat. It spins. It's interesting. Let's play out... I need to incant on this floor. I like the version of this that resulted in me getting rage to the floor, and not the version that gives me whatever else is happening here, right? Where's the one that gives me rage to the floor when played? Do I not have that anymore? Maybe not. Interesting. Well, that's a bit of a bummer then. I guess none of them technically did that, actually, now that I'm looking at it. Weird. I want to avoid Virion spam on this floor, so sure. I guess I could actually play the Super Virus out if I wanted to. He's not terrible to add. He does kind of just punch a guy, which is pretty cool. And might be relevant. It is a big part of my scaling, though. So... what a weird floor this has become, right? I mean, I think I do need to incant here. And then I need to bacterial growth something out. Sure, we'll get rid of middleman here. We actually, I think, clear everything, believe it or not. I will play the Virion, because I think it's good to do. And then I can go ahead and Hyperlastic Spike in the back for big stats. Okay. Sure, stats, why not? Everything clears out? Great. Fantastic. It's something. Good grief. Alright, now we're not doing nearly enough damage to this floor. I think I have to play Champion Boy in the middle here, or we lose. I'm going to Nausea here. I will draw a card. Flee is going away. Reserve. Apply Armor 5 and Rage 2 to the front friendly unit. I don't like that it's front friendly unit on Reserve. It's not terrible, but I guess I'm actually kind of glad I added this -1 to it when I think about this, right? I do think I need to play these. Yeah, interesting. I need to get these out of my hand. Do I win? Am I killing this guy? Very possibly not. Oh, he actually dies in 1, which is good. Wow, somehow we did that. Great. Let's ping. Remember, Virion is your friend. Yes. I am playing Nausea here, though, almost certainly. Because I want to stop 1,000,000 damage coming in. Tell you what, the random stats going into the floors are very strange. Now, I did have to play my champ, so... oh, God. Oh, God, no. Help. Alright, we managed to kill everything. Help. I have a bunch of garbage. I need to purge these cards. Wait, they're not purge anymore. Oh, no. Oh, God, what have I done? Oh, no, it's bad. It's terrible, in fact. Help. Help, Monster Train. I've done something, and it's not good. I've made a mistake. See, this is the version I want. Evolving Resistance. Apply Armor, Rage, and Lifesteal to friendly units. That's the good one. I have no idea how to make more of those. Bizarre. Anyway, here's a bunch more damage, I guess. We're getting hard carried by Super Virus at this point, who dropped in at a casual 420 and is now calmly just murdering these mini-bosses for us. So that's cool. Do I win? Alright, we did it. Monster Train. Yeah, Armor 6 and Rage 3 to friendly units. I don't know which one makes which one, but we got one of those. Cool. What a ridiculous floor. We did win this run. Somehow. Evolving Resistance is inscrutable. I would describe it as the least understood card I've ever read in my life. That whatever this is supposed to do, it is not clear. And I have no idea which one is spawning which, and maybe it's in the tooltip, but it cascaded way too far, and I have no idea what made the good one, what made the bad one. Is it random? Inscrutable, completely. But hey, we won. Look at that. Incredible news. Fantastic. Let's go to the run summary. Good grief. This Evolving Resistance. I had 13 copies of this garbage one. I had one copy of the really good one. Okay, so what in the blazes is happening here? I think there's like 4 versions, and the floor wide one, this guy, I think is the final form, right? I think so. I don't really know which one makes the better reserve. One of them has a bad reserve but a strong. Yeah, one of them has a bad reserve but a strong play, and I don't know what creates that. Some of them are just terrible in general. Is it random? It might actually be unironically random, and that's weird if true. Because some of these are terrible and some of these are fantastic. Give me that Rage 3 and Lifesteal 1 to friendly units, right? I mean, this card is incredible. Rage 3 to the floor, but it utterly inscrutable how to get to it. We managed to pull off the victory thanks to Super Virus being a 410 damage drop for mini bosses. I think this path is fine. It's very weird. It encourages you to jam your floor with a bunch of garbage. We got really lucky with Tiny Stone on Cold Kalia. I could have made a third Cold Kalia, but I was banking on, what is it, figuring out how to make experimental cloning device do literally anything. This is just a broken card right now, unfortunately. It was outright not interacting with anything. Something about whatever I was doing was wrong. And it definitely looks like it should work, right? Spawn a copy of a random unit from your deck to the back of this room. Cool. So that should either spawn, based on the wording, it should spawn my champion, Antigen Mimic, or one of these Cold Kalia copies. These are my only 4 units. So that's what it says it does. Now, it doesn't do that. It should be really strong if it makes a copy of my champion, but I mean, it should be really strong in general if it just does what it says on the tin. The text might be wrong. I don't even know if the second half of this card works or what it's supposed to do, right? A buffs applied to the copied unit will apply to the original card until it is played. My suspicion is that means if I made a copy of, Super Virus, right, then any buffs to the one on the board would then be echoed on the card, and that seems chaotic, right? Just the idea, just the first half of this card, if it worked, would be strong enough because it's guaranteed to overstack and is really powerful if you make your units correctly. So that's something. I think you just get rid of the second half of this card, fix the bug, and it's fine. And it's already really strong, right? Yeah, I don't know what the second part is even doing, trying to. Nausea ended up being a really relevant card. I was just looking at this like, yeah, I need dazed solutions. This is a weird one because it's 2 cost. That said, it is pure positive, right? It's a floor-wide daze. So I'm not mad about this. The contagion is okay. I mean, it probably helped a little bit here or there, but yeah, I don't know. This card's good, I think. I obviously made a second one, so I'm okay with it. Yeah, it's like Frenzied Swarm, but it doesn't discard your entire hand, which can be a positive or a negative. I mean, there's interactions with offering there, but it's basically like Frenzied Swarm, just more expensive. I don't know. This is one of those cards I actually think could unironically be 1 Ember and it would be fine in context with the rest of the Daze cards in the game, but I mean, literally compare it to Frenzied Swarm. You might say the discard is a disadvantage for Permafrost setups, and it would have been bad in this run, but sometimes you have like 5 offering cards and it's actually ridiculously, extremely awesome to have Frenzied Swarm discard everything. So, I don't know. I think 1 Ember would have been fine here, but 2 Ember is also okay. Daze is just necessary sometimes. So, would I have paid 2 Ember for this? Yeah. I mean, yeah, it would have felt bad, but yeah, I have to, right? Need to keep that floor alive. So, Antigen Mimic did alright. I think the random multi-strike was important with Super Virus. Pretty decent. Cold Kalia was okay. Super Virus did most of the work here. Destructive Testing. This is a fine card. Sure, kill some random recombinant dudes. This Hyperelastic Spike is dumb. This card is bad because it encourages you to not play it as a spike, which is the wrong vibe, right? I think the problem is a lot of the things in this clan try to do this multiply by the number of friendly units spawned during this battle. And the major downside to this is that it's really terrible early and becomes, above average later. It's this weird, it's the same Memento Mori problem, just a little bit more consistent. Yeah, sure, I can get my units killed, and eventually Memento Mori can do 400 damage, but if I'm drawing it the first 2 times and it's doing basically dirt all, then what's the purpose of it, right? Why bother? This I'm abusing just because I can play it at 0 cost, so I'm spell chaining and remove consuming it, and it doesn't matter that it has -1 or -2, I'm still getting tons of free stats out of this. So I'm basically just abusing the card's ability right now. I don't actually think that this is I think this needs work. This guy needs a change. It needs to not do something at 0 cost. Straight up. None of the other spikes do, okay? So none of the spikes should behave this way. First of all, so that means you get rid of the first part of this ability, and then suddenly this card becomes terrible, right? An additional +1/+1 for each friendly unit spawn. That's awful, right? So you're going to need, this maybe needs to be like +5/+5 for each friendly unit spawned. I don't know, something. Maybe that's too much. +4/+4. Get rid of the baseline and then buff the secondary part, and maybe we can talk, right? I might consider this for +5/+5. You think about that, that's what, like I spawn 5 units, it's a +25/+25, and then I X cost it. That's actually pretty strong, right? That becomes like, well, you play at 4 Ember and you get, 100 damage. That's a lot. Maybe that's too much. Maybe +3/+3, I don't know. I think you just have to be careful with this because the way it behaves now is bad, and it should be explored a little more, I think. Intro to Biology was actually really important for this run. I'm pretty pleased with that. It allowed me to get everything out immediately so I could start benefiting from Super Virus. Good card. I like it. It's got a penalty, but I'm fine with it. I like it. What else? Evolving Resistance. This needs something. This needs help. This card needs to be, is utterly unbelievable. I don't even know what you're supposed to do with this. Unreal. I have no idea how this behaves. This needs to be figured out text-wise, and I need to learn it somehow, because at this point of the run, there's only one Purge copy remaining, and who knows what anything will become. So, fantastic. Anyway, that's about as much as I think I need to say here. Hopefully you enjoyed. We had a much better time than our previous run. I think Super Virus is pretty promising. I'm probably going to do, a couple more runs with the clan. Try out some other paths of Super Virus at least. But we'll get back to Cursed Seeds, I think, pretty soon here. So, anyway, that's all I've got. So, hey, thanks a lot for watching this. I really appreciate your time. As always, you can give the video a like if you want. You can subscribe to the channel if you want to see more. And stay tuned for what's next. Take care, folks.